nobody's making money on sports cards anymore. Some of you are wondering about how much cash you need to start a reseller business. Talk about it. What's up, guys? Welcome to JMac Sports Cards. My name is Jason. Got some of y'all probably thinking this is going to be a rap video after I pulled up in my new Cadillac. And you might think I was going to jump out, start making it rain a little bit.
Make it rain!
No, but that car, it is actually a new car to me. It is a used car. And but that car perfectly epitomizes some of the decisions that I've made over the years that have set me up to be able to be a full-time reseller of sports cards. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. It's not going to just be about a dollar. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to advise you on how much money you need. I'm going to talk about my personal experience and the journey it took me to get to a place where myself and my wife felt comfortable making the leap to be a full-time reseller. I'm married, been married for, gosh, I'm gonna get in trouble here, 17 years, I believe. And we have 2 kids. Big leap of faith to jump out, start this full-time reseller business. But back to the Cadillac. So why I say it is sort of epitomizes what I'm talking about. Some of the things that should be in place, you know, if you want to do this thing right. Me and my wife, we sold our home. We moved from Charlotte, North Carolina. Before we sold our house, when we were in the process of selling our house, we had 2 vehicles. We sold off 1 vehicle, then we were down to only having 1 vehicle. We sold that house in Charlotte. We moved to Arkansas, and then we were here for about 8 months, 7-8 months with just the 1 vehicle. So we were able to save, by doing that, we were able to save, you know, having no car payment, having no extra car insurance premiums, not having to put fuel in 2 cars. And we moved from Charlotte, North Carolina. We sold our house at sort of the top of the real estate market, and that our house had went up in value by over 50% in like a year's time. So we sold our house there, and we had already had some family here in Arkansas. My wife's parents had moved here, so we moved over here. Charlotte was a much higher cost of living area. We moved here to Arkansas, where the housing costs are very low. You can find houses for $100,000 or less here pretty easily. I mean, you could still get houses for $200,000-$300,000 here, you know. But here, with that kind of money, you can, with those kind of prices, you can get land and homes and you know, really nice stuff. At least the area I'm in. So we were able to purchase our home outright. We scaled out of 1 vehicle, and now we don't have a mortgage. All we have is our utilities, and then whatever the expenses of life, really. So that was a huge weight off our shoulders. So that really made it easy for us to make this plunge and dive into being a full-time in sports cards. That would be like number 1. What's needed? Having a good financial foundation set. I mean, if you're still living at home, I know some people knock, you know, those living at home, YouTubers living at home, well, whatever, you know, doing sports cards. But I mean, if that's in a place you're at in life, you don't have all the bills, you know, that's a good place where to really go hard on being a reseller of whatever, sports cards, collectibles, whatever. Really good time to be a flipper of things if you're living at home. So that's the first thing that you should get in order if you don't already have that in order. Might take a while. I believe the second most important thing is to have a lot of inventory, or in the case of collectibles, have a big collection. So I've been in the hobby, started ripping packs and wax in 87 or 88. So back in the junk wax era, the very beginning of it, stayed very active into you know, collecting. I was 8 years old, 8 to 12, 13, 14 years old. I collected, you know, tons and tons, and to the point where we even had me and my brother put a glass case in our room and had a card shop. We called it a card shop. Obviously, through high school and college years, I didn't buy as much cards and wasn't as focused on that. I was focused on girls and having a good time. You know, after I kicked off my career, I went back to, I would buy a box or two a year. So I was always still buying cards. Went back and looked, and I found some old invoices. This is from Dave and Adam's Card World. I'll probably take a picture of it and put it up on the screen. 07, 08, this is Kevin Durant's rookie year. Bowman Elevation Basketball Hobby Box for $84. And it came with 2 times the 07, 08 Upper Deck Rookie Premier Basketball set, which had Kevin Durant's rookies in them. Those were free throw-ins. You know, with Dave and Adams, they always had throw-ins. I also bought a 07, 08 Topps Basketball 48-pack box for $29.95. And I also registered a business during around this time, which this is a form registering a business called East Carolina Card Shop. And then here's my account application for Southern Hobby after I registered that business name. But I never really pursued that hard. I got talked out of that by a few people close to me. And so I didn't really go all in. I didn't really kick off that business back in 2010. But I put that out here just to show you that that's how involved over the course of the years I've been with, you know, sports cards. So that set me up to when I really fully came back, fully engaged into the hobby, like everyone during COVID in 2020, that I had tons of cards. I had lots of stuff in, you know, 3 and 4 row boxes that I was able to go back through, find Kevin Durant rookies and, you know, Christian McCaffrey rookies and Patrick Mahomes rookies, all these kinds of things. Tons and tons and tons of Jordans. Still have tons of Jordans to this day. And I had a lot of stuff that I was able to, because grading really wasn't a thing in the 80s. It was very, very prominent, obviously, during the boom. So I graded a ton of stuff, and I was able to get set up, you know, pretty nicely. I had a lot to sell that I was able to sell and get set up. That's how it worked for me. Okay, and then boom, fast forward to, you know, last year when I did this full time. I still have tons of inventory. Still have tons of things I could pull from and pick from and list on eBay, and now I'm doing the bulk listing. Okay, so there you go. There's point 1 and point 2. Point 1, get your money right, get your finances right, get some freedom, financial freedom. And then part 2 is have some inventory. You might be saying, you know what, JMac, I don't have that much inventory. How would I go about doing that? If I were to just start fresh, and not only start fresh, this is still what I do today. You know, take about $500 to $1,000 and buy bulk lots and or collections that size, $500 to $1,000. So if this is your first time buying one of those, try to get the best deal possible with the best cards possible in that deal. Don't really go high end though. Don't get 1 or 2 or 3 cards for that. Get a lot of inventory. The more inventory there is involved with it, the less risk there is, as long as it is stuff that you can resell. Acquire a $500 to $1,000 collection or bulk deal at a show or through Facebook Marketplace, however you can source it. Then begin to sell through that. Take some cards out that look good, get them graded as well, and then rinse and repeat. Keep doing that. $500 to $1,000, taking out a couple cards to grade. Eventually what's going to start happening is you'll start getting graded orders back. You'll begin to make some profits. It's going to take a while. It's not going to be right out of the gate making, you know, lots and lots of profits. It's going to be a lot of cash burn that takes place in the initial stages. But eventually you'll start getting those orders back. The snowball effect can begin to take place with your graded card orders that start trickling in along with you buying these bulk deals. So that is how I would approach it if I was brand new and fresh. And like I said, I'm not only advising that, but that's still the mode of operation that I use. Maybe $2,000 is probably the max that I really want to spend at a time on collections. Not to that place where I can have that much capital to spend maybe more than that. That's how I've set up my inventory and continue to keep fresh inventory coming in, along with I'm still pulling from the old collections cards I have. So that's my approach, and that I hope you guys have enjoyed that. I appreciate you guys voting on that in the community poll. It was a very, very close vote, and so I'm gonna make, because the other one got so much of a percentage, a video on how I price cards and my approach to eBay offers. I'm gonna do a follow-up, and that'll be another video that'll be dropping pretty soon. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will make a video on how I approach pricing cards and on eBay now that I'm doing it in mass, bulk, and then how I approach eBay offers as they come in. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. That's all I got till next time. Thanks for watching. Deuces.